Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. I gotta say, Tijuana's starting to grow on me. My social anxiety disorder seems to be receding pretty dramatically. I find it very easy to walk around the neighborhood and go to the stores, and got a haircut yesterday, and yeah, good times. Basically, there's been a little snafu in the payment for my cancer treatments. I brought enough with me, but the problem is I can't push it through and into the checking account fast enough to be able to swing the payment. So the result is I'm cooling my heels in the hotel, and I'm just sort of waiting for the for another couple more days until I can push another 10 grand through, and then that will be enough. I generally use the Cash App and Abra, but I got rid of Coinbase because, man, they're just bending over for the IRS and forcing us all to bend over too, right? Now I fully intend to claim my long-term capital, well, the long-term capital gains taxes on what I cash in. But the thing is, I don't like being put on lists and basically just reported automatically to the IRS, and I just don't enjoy that shit. So I will, of course, self-report. I mean, I've got all the paperwork necessary, and it's only about 6 transactions maybe. So why, total. So why should I be, terribly concerned? The paperwork is going to be fairly easy to do, and it's the lower rate long-term capital gains tax. So yeah, I'll just cross all my T's and dot my I's, and send the money off. And if there is any kind of mistake anywhere, it'll be so small that it won't be worth the effort for the auditor to even bother with it, right? That is not some people, right? Some people in the Bitcoin and other crypto community, they're just like, they're just hoping for the best. And they once called this, although it's not politically correct, they once called it a Polish mine detector, where you plug your ears and stomp on the ground really hard and say, no mines. Actually, that's politically correct now because Polish people are white, and the only way that you can be racist, apparently, is against non-white people because we have so much power and shit, which is, of course, bullshit. So, so basically, I'm just enjoying my time here in Tijuana, and I certainly don't want to, I'm in no hurry to go back to cold ass, freaking frigid, frosty ass Washington State when I can stay in beautiful friggin' Tijuana and enjoy the sunlight. Heck, I'm even getting a little bit of a tan. So yeah, it's cancer sucks, but some of the life changes and adjustments you make to work with and compensate for the cancer is can only be considered good, right? Losing that 90 pounds, that's friggin' good. I feel like a friggin' $1,000,000, except for just a tiny little twinge of something like right there. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's probably a lymph node or some shit. So I'm going heavy on my medications, and when I first got here, I was going heavy. I was like very uncautious about carbs and shit. So I have knocked the sodas out of my diet, and the closest thing to carbs I got, like for breakfast this morning, was a fruit bowl with like papaya, and man, was it tasty. Many different types of fruit. I tried they even have cactus fruit, and it has these, I think they call it kama or some shit. But anyway, it has these hard little seeds in it. It's tasty, but just pretty hard to eat. So I opted out of that today. But yeah, I got carbs in the form of fruit, you know, which is not as damaging as freaking ice cream and Coca-Cola and shit. So today, I might walk around a little bit. Maybe hit a grocery store, see if I can find some Q-tips, because I find it irritating not to be able to clean my ears out. And I'm just gonna, you know, familiarize myself with the territory. Tomorrow, I'm moving to an extended stay hotel with a kitchen, and I'll be able to do a little bit of cooking if I understand correctly. The cancer center has a special deal with the extended stay place, and they were able to get me in, even though this is, I guess you could call this high season. Got a little burp coming, sorry. Anyway, I just had breakfast. Man, was it good. But this is the more crowded season of the year for them, because everybody in the north is freezing their buns off, and they're saying, I think I'll go to Tijuana. So all the Airbnbs, even though the lockdown has occurred, all the Airbnbs are now like you can only get fragments of a few days, a couple of days here and there. And that just doesn't appeal to me. I just want to plop my ass down in one spot that's comfortable enough. Then I'll have no distractions to bother me with when I start my cancer treatments next week. And in immunotherapy, first thing they do is they ramp up your immune system. Then they give you a drug that supposedly breaks up that little barrier that goes around cancer cells, and then basically, you know, that protects them and your other organs too from your immune system, right? And it's supposedly it's part of what keeps your body from attacking your internal organs. Like I knew a gamer, a girl who was the wife of one of my gamers back in the day, but she had a real problem with lupus, and it was a real problem because, you know, her immune system was attacking her organs, and I suspect that little barrier around her organs was faulty or being disrupted by something in her diet or something. But in any case, yeah, it was some bad shit. But I effectively, once I get these drugs, I will effectively have what they sort of some of the symptoms of lupus or autoimmune disorder or whatever. Some of the symptoms are rashes and nausea and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying feeling so good and walking around the neighborhood and looking at the beautiful sun and basically while I can, because in a few days I will probably not be feeling very well. And then anyway, once the barrier, if I understand, I'm just a diesel mechanic, but the barrier around the cancer cells and probably your other organs too will be disrupted, and then your immune system will attack. And then those immune system cells that are attacking, a lot of them are attacking the cancer cells, and then they can somehow pick them up in what they call a liquid biopsy. And I discussed the biopsy with the doctor about the value of possibly getting a real biopsy, a regular physical biopsy, rather than doing the liquid biopsy. And I asked him if it would be more accurate, and he said he hasn't heard or hasn't read anything about an increased value by using actual biopsy material that over liquid biopsy. Now, who knows, that might be bullshit, but that is what he told me, so that's what I'm going to go for the time being. So yeah, in probably about Tuesday or so, I'll probably be beginning I'll start the blood tests, and I'll probably be given the drugs, and then basically I will begin treatment. And the hotel is about 1 kilometer away from the cancer center, so that is perfect for me. I can refuse the driver, because they have like a shuttle driver, and I can get my walk-in if I'm feeling good enough, right? And then once I get back to the hotel, if I want to hit the gym and do any lifting, that's great, but I will probably not be doing much lifting if I'm feeling like crap, right? So anyway, for the time being, I'm just hitting my cancer drugs and watching my diet, and the only downside is that pectosol stuff, right? That's this stuff right here, and there, breakfast. Anyway, that stuff gives me gas, and the problem with that is that it builds up in the colostomy bag, and as you can see, like from my perspective, next to my no wife, no strife shirt here, you can see the gas has built up in the bag, and the result is when I empty the thing, the smell comes out of that bag. It's like 100 farts all at once within about 2 feet of your face. And as I described the smell before, the smell comes out of the bag, and it slaps you across the face about 3 times, and then grabs you by the shirt, throws you on the ground, and starts jumping up and down on your chest. It's kind of potent, but it goes away really quick. Yeah, all those farts at once. But generally, if I'm not taking that Pectosol, the farts are like almost insignificant. I don't have a lot of gas, and then this bad smell or whatever of the colostomy situation, it's actually quite mild for me, whereas a lot of guys have a lot of problem with that. But man, the gas from the Pectosol, whoa, man. So yeah, if you can avoid cancer and getting your rectum removed, like I highly recommend, I would recommend avoiding that if at all possible. So yeah, try to avoid cancer if you can, and don't get married, because they are about equal in my book, my friends, about equal. Because man, the constant debilitating drain. I mean, it's bad enough living in the same house with my sister, right? But the energy drain of that, it's constant. Well, she's smart enough to stay out of my way, right? She does things like doing most of her activities at night while I'm asleep, right? And then she stays out of my way for the most part. Once in a while she gets off her ass and cooks something, but otherwise she's as useless as tits on a boar hog. Now a boar hog, which a lot of people don't know, some people thought I said borog, which is like a D&D monster, I think. But a boar hog is a male hog, and tits are pretty darn useless on a boar hog. So yeah, it's an old colorful expression from back when people used to have farm animals at home. So, MGTOWs, yeah, don't get cancer and don't get married. Later. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to add to this, and it's going to cost me a little time to edit the video on the phone, and upload it. But the thing is, I wanted to include my opinion of Fox News. Now, Fox, I spell it F-A-U-X, which is basically fake news, because they have thrown all the right basically under the bus, and they've lost their identity, and they are like they're basically corporate media, and they have finally thrown us under the bus enough that they are hemorrhaging viewers. And what are they thinking? And they're panicking too. And the question is, what were they thinking? Did they think honestly that throwing their viewer base under the bus, right? Did they think that leftists and MSNBC and Rachel Maddow viewers, did they think that those people would come and watch Fox News? What the heck were they thinking? So, yeah, I am watching and laughing as everybody's moving to Parler and and decentralized things, and leaving Twitter and moving to decentralized and censorship, at least places where there isn't significant censorship. Any censorship that there is would be like CP or other horrific things, which is fine with me, but no political censorship that I have discovered yet. And the market will decide, and the smart people will go to the more open platforms, and they will have more information to work with. They will get a better perspective of what the reality of our economy and our business cycle and our entire civilization is. And the result is they'll be able to make better decisions. So they are going to pass all the low information Rachel Maddow zombies, just like they're standing still. And then they'll still be angry and pissed off, and why aren't we rich like the people who are on the right? It's because they're so freaking stupid that they're watching and staying glued to crappy information sources, and the result is they fall into all these traps that the real media, which is basically online now, which the real media is allowing people to understand and know about, right? And people get warned about the all of these traps, and the result is they have a better, lower stress, more peaceful, more stable, and vastly more prosperous life than they otherwise would have had if they sat there freaking whacking off to Rachel Maddow. Okay, maybe that's going a little over the top, because nobody could whack to that. So in any case, yeah, that's what I'm up to. Tomorrow I'm going to move to a better hotel, or a more extended stay hotel. It's a little farther away. I'll get a good walk in the mornings, and I will begin my cancer treatments next week. And then once I finish my cancer treatments, guys, I don't know if I want to go back home. I don't know if I want to go back to Washington State and freeze my ass off in the cold. Maybe I'll just stay here for a few more weeks. One of my subscribers, one of our fellow MGTOW, lives in Guadalajara. He was saying, "Vincent, get your butt over here!" And I gotta say, guys, it's awfully tempting. Man, it's awfully tempting. Okay, MGTOWs, that's about all I got for you. Now I'll edit these 2 videos together and give it an upload, and don't get married and don't get cancer.